Melissa, welcome to Floor Talk. It's great to have you on the show.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So I want to start off by talking about the company. Tell me about Kyriba.
Kyriba actually has been around 20 years. Kyriba was started 20 years ago in San Diego, one of my favorite warm places in the United States, of course, really to focus on treasury management. The company was founded on the principles of trying to allow corporations to connect more effectively their treasury and their treasury operations and cash with banks. Because banks, we all have more than one bank account in various countries, in various institutions, in various locations. So it was really a very simple proposition originally. Now, over the last 20 years, Kyriba has grown. The platform has stayed the same, so it's a single platform company. We're more than 170 countries around the world, more than 3,000 customers. And now we're focused on liquidity performance and liquidity solutions. So in times like today, in the last number of years, let's say since 2021, Kyriba's really been focusing ensuring that CFOs and treasurers have insights, true proper business insights into managing liquidity and the performance of their liquidity, coupled with bank APIs and interactions, risk, Forex, exchanges, and the overall performance of how liquidity can empower businesses like all of these amazing companies on the New York Stock Exchange to actually perform better.
Now, you mentioned you have over 3,000 customers. Who are your customers?
Companies like Coca-Cola, AIG, Spotify, all brand names that we know and love, by the way. I listen to all my music on Spotify. As well as, businesses like the biggest banks, so the Wells Fargo's, HSBC's, Societe Generale. So really cornerstone big enterprises that have complexity in managing their interaction with their banks, complexities around risk, complexities around performance of their cash, where it sits and how it performs for them to make business decisions. So the more complex, the more appropriate Kyriba is for our customer set.
And what are the biggest challenges you look to solve for your customers? And what is liquidity gridlock? And how can CFOs break out of this gridlock?
That is such an appropriate question for where we are today. I mean, we've got a new presidential elect coming into office. We've experienced a huge amount of volatility in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years in our economy. And that economy seeps through to the way that businesses operates and the kind of decisions that they make as leaders, as CFOs, as CEOs, as treasurers, being to make decisions on not just where their liquidity exists, but how they're going to put their liquidity to work. Now, in general, the rule of thumb is that about 20% of revenue equates to the amount of liquidity that a business wants to have. And that's an average based on the top S&P billion-dollar listed businesses, let's say, in the US, on average. So if you need to have 20%, best practice, say 15 to 20% liquidity, managing that liquidity and where it sits around the globe for these large enterprises is incredibly complex. You've got interest rates volatility, you've got fluctuations in, as we know very well with the new Trump administration coming on board, Forex exchange rates are going to be very volatile, the dollar going up and down. I mean, there's so much going on with interest rates, inflation, with Forex, with risk, with connectivity to bank accounts. Now, most businesses like the Spotify's and AIG's and Coca-Cola's of the world have not just dozens, but even sometimes hundreds of bank accounts around the world. Managing the interactions with dozens of ERPs, with dozens of financial systems, with dozens of bank accounts, with positions in more than even sometimes 100 countries, in various currency rates and exchanges, becomes gridlock. It becomes very hard to uncover. How do I control my liquidity? How do I control my cash? How do I make decisions for the business that are going to utilize the best I possibly can? And that gridlock is systemic now. And not just because interest rates are high and inflation's very volatile. And in the best of times, gridlock exists because of multiple systems, APIs, calls, bank accounts. So what we're trying to do is synthesize all of this complexity, bring it together in a dashboard to be able to serve it up with AI, with intelligence that we're serving it up to a board, a CEO and a CFO to make decisions and begin to eliminate the complexity around financial gridlock.
Now, Melissa, you recently made headlines with the reinvestment by Bridgepoint Capital and General Atlantic. What made that a logical move for Kyriba? And what does it say about the company's trajectory heading into 2025?
It's super exciting for us. I've been on board for just more than a year now. I joined the 1st of September, and I had no idea that when I joined, we'd have so much excitement and interest in the business. I mean, I knew why I joined, and I knew the growth trajectory, and I knew what it was like to lead the #1 in our space. But by the way, so did everybody else, which made it really, really exciting. In early this year, so in January of 2024, with Bridgepoint, we made the decision to bring on a minority investor. And we had, like I said, so much interest. And it was really good. It speaks so much about who Kyriba is, our position in the market, the value we have to bring, the platform itself and what it offers to CFOs and CEOs in the economy around the world. And the reason why we chose General Atlantic, a nice, New York headquartered business, Bill, the CEO, is here in New York, so it's super exciting. But to have GA on our side, they have the same investment thesis in what Kyriba is and where we want to go. So investing for growth, investing for margin expansion, investing in our customer success in our journey, investing in our go-to-market, and moreover, really investing in our product. We have a single platform business, and further investing in things like AI and thoughtful and innovative leading technology is really what we're after for the next 5-year cycle. So Bridgepoint had been in for 5 years. They were ready to reinvest again, which says, again, volumes about who we are as a business. Super exciting time to be leading Kyriba today and for the next journey in the next 5 years.
So you just mentioned that you've been CEO for a little over a year now. So tell me, what are you most proud of achieving in this year?
I recently did a video. The company asked me to do a year anniversary video, and I could pick one thing that I was excited about, and I just could not pick one thing. There's so much to be excited about. I'm super proud as an example of this investment with General Atlantic. I'm super proud and honored that Bridgepoint wanted to invest in me and in us again, right? They could have very easily sold, but they didn't. They chose to invest in us for the first, for the future journey, which is really exciting. We brought on a world-class management team. So we have a new CRO, CMO, CHRO, COO, CFO. Really world-class leadership team, which is amazing. However, preserve the strength of the culture of who Kyriba is. And in fact, we did a recent Peakon survey, once when I joined and once recently, and we more than doubled our engagement score, which speaks a lot about who we are as a culture and as a business. We did a full rebrand, so you probably see behind me a whole new logo. And it's not just about changing the colors and look and feel, it's about a whole new brand narrative. We've redefined what Kyriba is and the market that we sell to and the market that we actually are the leader in, and that's liquidity performance. I could go on and on, but that's probably a sample of some of the best things that we did in the last year.
Well, it sounds like an exciting time ahead in 2025 for Kyriba.
Indeed.
It's been wonderful to talk with you, Melissa. Thanks for joining me.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much. I love being here at New York Stock Exchange in my hometown, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you very much.